Hey y'all, hey, it's another episode of Bonafide, her podcast featuring the one and only Elly Finch.
Hey guys.
Girl, you are gorgeous. I meant to tell you that because, girl, I was like,
Thank
oh,
you.
she's
So
playing
are
with the
you.
glasses.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, I love it here. I love all the, it's like, I love it here. So, how you doing today?
I'm very good. Thank you. How are you?
Girl, we blessed to be alive. So,
Always.
let's get this started. So, Miss Elly, can you tell us, like, how you got to where you are in your sports journey?
Yeah. I'll try to keep it pretty short, but it is quite a long story.
Girl, the floor is yours. Go as you please.
So basically, growing up, so I have two full brothers and then two stepbrothers. And so four in all, a house full of males. So being the only girl, I was just like, um I guess just like into a lot of sports because my brothers did everything from tennis to football to like weightlifting, they did it all. And so like I just looked up to them so much, I started just like grasping onto everything that they did. And so when I was about 9, I switched from cheering to playing football. And so immediately I loved it. I fell in love with football. It's still to this day my favorite sport. Um, like my dream is to become a coach one day. But basically, so I just kept playing football. I played for 10 years, up until high school. And in high school is when I kind of started to like reach out to different sports. I tried swimming, I tried basketball, and then I tried track because again, my brother also did track. And right off the bat, it was like, oh, I wanted to run, I wanted to jump. Throwing was the last thing that I cared to do. Um, but like people just told me like, "Oh, you're strong. You play football. Like you should try throwing." And I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess I'll like try it, but like I'm gonna run." And so, excuse me. Sorry, I'm getting over the flu.
Bless you, girl. Bless you.
Um, and so I just tried it, and I mean, like I was decent to start, but like I wasn't anything special at throwing. I kind of thought it was fun, so I continued doing it. And at this point, I really started to getting into lifting, and I fell in love with lifting as well. And so I'm like getting super strong, starting to really like throwing. And that's kind of when football started to end because it's like the fall, the spring. And then I like did pretty well my sophomore year. Like at track, like I went to the state meet. It was pretty cool. I was like, oh, okay, like I can do this. And so then I really kind of like continued throwing, and I was like, yeah, I'm a thrower now. And like still again playing football. And then so I played basketball. Sorry, I'm like all over the place. I played basketball from freshman to junior year in high school, and my senior year I was like, yeah, like I want to really like commit to track. Like I want to be good. Like I wanted to be the best. So I found a club coach. He really like dedicated his time to me, and I like truly just like sprung out of nowhere. Started like making it to like some pretty big meets, winning them. And I was like, damn, like this is something like I could see myself doing. And at the time, like I still in the back of like my like head and heart like wanted to play football in college. But I also like really loved throwing, which was like so like not in my plan. But then like I caught or Michigan State caught wind of me, and I kind of just like talked to them, went on a visit, and I was like, this is like an opportunity I can't turn down. And so I committed, continued throwing in high school. Again, like had a pretty successful senior year, and boom, now I'm here. Obviously there were some bumps in the road here and there, but that's the gist of it. But that's how I'm here now.
Girl, it looks like it's a great day to be a Spartan because y'all, I know the school won for Big Ten for like basketball not too recently
Oh my
for
gosh, yeah, that was like 2 days ago.
so. But my question is like, what? So with Michigan State being huge sport in the Big Ten, like
Yeah.
for like basketball and football, you know, what are some ways of how people can get into like supporting track? Because I have just like I've had a lot of throwers, and I'm thinking
Yeah.
to myself, like, these are some strong throwers. Like the women in the throwing community is like they're very tight knit, and like
Oh my
just to
gosh,
learn
yeah.
about it, it's like so like to learn about it. I'm like, dang, this is dope. Like they strong, but like
Yeah.
how can people like be able to, support the throwers in the track and fields?
Yeah. So basically, like, it's like being a thrower is hard but also amazing because like you said, like the community of like especially female throwers is so connected, so strong. Like I have love for every female thrower, mad respect, because like I know the hardships and struggles it is to be one. But I also know how like powerful and strong all of these women are that throw. And so that is so amazing where it's like you have all that support and you know like the girl you got throwing next to you has your back. But at the same time, it's like so many people either don't know about throwing, don't care about throwing. When they think of track, they think of running, they think of everything but throwing, which is so hard because it's such a big part of the sport. Like it's track and field, it's not track, you know? So like I've even made a TikTok about how like when people ask me what I run in track and I'm like, I throw. It's for me, it's field and track, not track and field. Um, and so that's just really hard because it's like you kind of get like undermined, but at the same time, yeah, it's like that community within it is so strong, and it's like I just love the support that we all have for each other. So
For sure, because like I've you, Savannah, girl named Riley and Jocelyn, y'all are some beautiful throwers. Like y'all
thank you.
show and like just building y'all's content. I love the content y'all build with like
Yeah,
saying it's okay to be strong and it's okay to be beautiful
yeah,
at the same time. Because
100%.
so, what advice would you give to those people, to the women that feel like, sometimes they don't know how to express their femininity, even though they're built in a way that's considered deemed masculine, but they're still beautiful and strong in a way?
Yeah. So basically, I guess the way I did it, because I had a really hard time kind of like balancing that like masculine side to feminine side, because like I grew up playing football, I grew up with all these brothers. It's like it was so much masculinity in my household, in my life. Like I had a lot of guy friends on the team. So it was like so hard to like let my femininity and like feminine side show. But it was just like out of the blue. Like one day I realized like my femininity and me being a female is what makes me so powerful, because like being in these like male dominated fields, whether it's just in like a sport in general, or if it's like being strong or more muscular, like sure that's more deemed masculine, but it's not masculine. It's just being strong, and being feminine is being strong, and vice versa. So it's just a matter of like really accepting yourself and realizing like my muscles are beautiful, they are feminine, they are what make me a woman, and just taking it and running with it. And that's what I do, especially on like social media, is like 90% of my posts are like me in the gym, me showing off my muscles because I love them. Like I think that my muscles are what make me beautiful. I mean, lots of things make everything or everyone beautiful, but like to me, ugh, muscles are gorgeous, especially on women. Like I just want every like powerful, strong, muscular woman to know that they are gorgeous.
For sure. And like, I remember if you've seen the Olympics, I don't know, I cannot, for the life of me, I don't know how to pronounce her name, but she's the one that rugby, the lady from the rugby, the USA.
Alona Mar.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I love her. She's my queen.
Yeah, the fact, and it was crazy because like people used to like when she got to the Rise House, like where she like people used to like just judge her, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, like girl, like, and
Mm-hmm.
the fact that she literally represents like what it means to be beautiful and strong, and like she just doesn't give
Yeah.
like what
Yeah.
her opinion is, and she won a gold medal, so it's like, hello,
Exactly. She's got it. She's living her best life.
yes. So my question for you is, in the field aspect of part, do you, and with NIL has played a huge part in with the college athletics. Do you hope to see the throwers in the field aspects get more, NIL deals and more NIL partnerships just as much as like say the other, the track events and even other sports?
Yeah, I mean, like right off the bat, like there's definitely a difference in like kind of the way the throwers are represented, especially in NIL. But like, I mean, Savannah off the bat is like truly representing us. Like she is amazing, and she's what really got me into like posting and like being just super confident on social media. So like I have all the respect for her. And then it's just like, yeah, like we need, like I know there's so many throwers out there trying, but we really just need to like put ourselves out there even more because we're so undermined comparatively to like a sprinter or a hurdler, you know, just because like, yeah, like people don't know about us as much as a runner would. And so it's not that we're like totally ignored in NIL, but I definitely think that there's a gap that we really need to kind of fill. And I think by what Savannah's doing and what a lot of other throwers are doing are taking the steps towards that. And I think it's wonderful.
For sure. Cause girl, when I tell you and Savannah are like this. Y'all like, I'm like,
I say I love her.
and like when she introduced me to the what's it called? Those gummy ones, that the gummy snacks that Jason Tatum
Yeah,
had. I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, I need those. I
yeah,
was like,
those are good.
they look like it. I was like, I love candy, but I gotta be healthy. So, yeah.
Exactly. A little spice of both.
Yes. My question for you though is like, when it comes to representation for women's sports,
Mhm.
how important is representation?
It is everything, especially just being women. Like, there's so many people that just hate on women for no reason. And so just representing women's sports, getting people to watch women's sports, because people do, they love women's sports. But there's just so much like backlash that I don't really understand. But it's everything. I mean, we need support just as much of it as a man does in like in sports. I just like everybody is working so hard to be where they are, whether it's professional basketball, whether it's, track, Olympics, whatever it is, everybody worked to get there. So everybody deserves representation and support, whether you're male or female.
Absolutely. Because, everyone watches women's sports now because,
Exactly. It's
some people,
amazing. These women are amazing. We
we
need to
let
be
them,
supporting them.
exactly. Even the men's are finally seeing how amazing women's sports. But then
Yes.
again, it's like, if you just tuning in, we've been that. So,
I was gonna say, like, that's a thing where it's like these men, these people are late to the game. These women have been playing. They've been those girls. Like they are her, like we should have been supporting them long ago.
my question for you though, like when it comes, so like, a lot of people tune into track and field during the Olympics. Like that's when everybody want to
Yeah.
tune in. What my question is, do you feel like with this past Olympics, do you think it elevated, people getting interested in actually tuning in to track and field and everything, especially with the US winning so many like accolades and everything?
I definitely think, and like maybe this is biased because I'm in the track world, but I definitely think in the last like couple years, especially like this year, like tuning into track, especially in the Olympics, has been a lot more popular. Like I feel like people are watching track more. And it's because the USA is doing really great. We've got, especially in the Big Ten, different schools, like competition is raising and people love competition. They love watching that. So I definitely think that, yeah, like this past year especially has really kind of made track trend, which is a good thing, but trends die. Like this needs to stay.
And for the event that you do, like what are some events that you do, and like what are some ways that, like, say, what would you tell your younger self, um what to expect with these type of events in life in general.
Um, like events like what I go through as an athlete.
Yes.
Um, I would just tell my younger self to like never second guess like me myself and just know that like yeah, like to get where like to be successful you have to go through hard times, you have to work hard, like you have to fail to succeed. And that's really hard, especially for me, like just knowing like failing is not fun, it's not fun for anybody, but you can't truly be successful if you don't fail. And so I would just tell myself to never like get down just because I made one mistake or just because I failed once, because that's just one more level closer to that success.
Yes, because I ain't gonna lie, we don't like making mistakes, but sometimes the biggest blessings be hidden in those
Yeah.
things.
I
So
mean, and every time you fail, it's a lesson. You're gonna, if you take it and you learn from it, then you didn't really fail.
absolutely. And speaking of like, so you know how like the Big Ten these days, like a lot of the conferences, so like you know how the Pac-12, the original Pac-12, like some of the teams like USC and UCLA,
Yeah.
they're in like Big 12, Big 10 and stuff.
Yeah.
How did you prepare yourself, like with all that, like being in those conferences, like the conference that you're in, you have all the some of them, the West Coast conferences. How were you able to prepare yourself to, like, there's days where you may have to travel across country
Mhm.
and like also balancing all the schoolwork and everything?
I mean, it gets a little challenging sometimes, but that's with everything with being a student athlete, especially at the D1 level. Um, like just even this last indoor season, we went to Indiana, which is really not that far away from Michigan. But it was, a 4.5 hour bus ride and then a long day at the meet and then bus ride back. Like it becomes a long weekend. And it's just a matter of like really staying balanced. And so, like, making sure you get your work done, or if you didn't get your homework done before you leave, then you do it in the hotel room, or, and like, obviously, when you're at the meet, like, you're cheering on your teammates. So there's really no time for homework, but it's like squeezing it in any chance you get. But that even comes with just like self care and time to yourself. Like, you need to have all this balance of like time to rest, time to train, time to learn. It's just, I mean, it's a struggle, but you get used to it and you find your own flow, and everybody's is different, but you figure it out.
Girl, I meant to tell you, I love your nails. Can you do a
Oh,
nail cam? Do
yes,
the nail
thank
cam.
you.
Ooh,
I got you. I
slay,
did them myself. Thank you.
girl, slay on them. Let's lay on them. Cause I was like, I kept seeing, I was like, oh, they're so pretty.
I was
Hey,
like, we got a little green and white action.
and it matches the shirt too.
Oh, yes.
Like,
Thank you.
so my question for you is, you mentioned about self care, and
Yeah.
I always say this, that athletes are humans first, because what they do with sport is a job, but
Yeah.
athletes are human first. So how important, when it as an athlete and a female, how important is mental health?
Again, it is everything. Like I do struggle with mental health. But I'm currently in therapy. I take care of myself. I take the time I need. I do specific things when I'm getting stressed to really just like level me back out and ground me. But like just taking care of your mental health is absolutely everything. Because if you're struggling in your head, how are you supposed to then compete physically well? Like my one high school coach, I will love him forever. He always told me that it's 90% mental and 10% physical. And that's 1000% true. Because especially at this level, it's like your body can do what it needs to do to compete and to lift and to be strong, but it's what your mind is doing on the other side that is going to either make or break you. And so taking care of your mind and taking care of your mental health and your mental well-being is absolutely everything. So whether it's doing therapy, coloring, taking medication if you need it. Like there's so many things that can help you to just really ground you and level you and help you if you're struggling, that you just got to get on if you need it, you know? Like you can't succeed physically if you're not okay mentally.
Absolutely. And, it's just everything. It starts everything you have to start. It starts mental. And,
Mhm.
you know, and I just wish, like, and I always say this, I just wish people would understand that athletes are human first. That's all they
Yeah,
are. Like,
100%.
and if you have to under it, like, you got to listen to them, listen to what they're telling you, if, like, listen to them, like, allow them to, just listen. That's all they want, to be
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah,
So,
we just want to be heard, that's all, you know.
and my question for you is, like, what does a safe space look like to you?
A safe space is, again, like somewhere where I can truly be heard. And like sometimes you don't always want an answer, sometimes you truly just want to vent or just to be heard and have someone listen to you. And like having feedback is nice sometimes, but again, just like that space where I can just let out what I'm feeling, my stresses, my anxieties, and just have it like be comfortable where I'm not being judged, or like it's not going to be put against me. And that's really where therapy comes into hand. Like I truly love my therapist because he just lets me share my struggles and hardships and like things that are bothering me, and like I just feel completely comfortable where I'm not being judged, it's not being held against me, because I'm a human. Like again, like exactly like you said, like yes, I'm an athlete, but I'm a human first, so I'm going to feel all these things. And just having that comfortable room to let it out is really really nice. So
Absolutely. And because I wish people would understand how much of a job college athletes have to go.
oh, it's a full-time job.
Like, it's like the whole, like, yeah, they got a full ride and all this stuff. Like, look,
Mhm.
that full ride is for their classrooms. It ain't for everything else. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
the
like
classrooms.
yeah, it's like, and they worked for that full ride, like it wasn't just given to them, you know.
And then just imagine getting up for 5 a.m. workouts, like weights and
Mhm.
everything, and then having to, like, oh my gosh, 8 a.m. classes. I gotta
Yep.
figure out how to get all this stuff, and then
Yep.
everything. It's like, y'all let me know how that goes. Just
Mhm.
do that for one day. Y'all let me know how it goes. If
I'll
y'all
say
seriously,
it's a lot of really early mornings and a lot of really late nights.
oh my gosh. And a lot of them don't go home till like 9 or even 10 at night to finish.
Yeah, I know some people that are on different like different sports teams that genuinely, yeah, their practices are till like 8 p.m. That means they're not getting home till 8:30. It's like that's a late night. Like I'm trying to be in bed by 8.
Girl, and then having to, like, all the 11:59 p.m. deadlines.
Yeah, the due dates and assignments. Oh my goodness.
It's like, almost you turn into, like, I don't know if you remember there's like an audio on TikTok where it's like the keyboards, like, dun dun dun
Yep.
dun 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 dun, dun, dun. And it was from Bruce Almighty, where, like, you have
Oh
that
yeah, I've seen that.
it's like you have that the scenario, like, where your homework is due by 11:59, you haven't
Yeah.
started it, so it's like you start just,
Yeah, I've seen those. Those are so funny.
it's like that's how college athletes are. That's the daily life of it. Like,
I'll say
I'm
that's an everyday occurrence.
it's like, gosh, Lord. And then the thing is too, like, travel. It takes a lot. The traveling takes a lot of toll on
Yeah,
the athletes too, because, like, the Wi-Fi. Like, some people don't have Wi-Fi, so it's like, how do I?
exactly. The internet is so terrible.
It'd be like, just flippity flap flap, and I'm like, oh man, like.
Yep.
But my question for you is, who is that, like, when it comes to, like, say, your role model or someone that inspired you? Who are some of the people that inspires you?
I'll say one of my biggest role models in life or I have a few, but two of the biggest are my mom and one of my older brothers. Um, when it comes to just like staying strong in like really hard times, I look to my mom. She's a very, very tough woman. She's been through a lot, and she's still cooking. And I look up to her each and every day. But when it comes to like that side of like kind of just like feeling like the world is caving in, because like that, I feel like that happens to everybody sometimes. It's like looking at my brother for this like just like wise man advice. Like he's only 22, but I feel like he knows everything. And so just going to him for advice is so refreshing. Like every time I talk to him, I feel like there's a weight lifted off of my shoulders. Like there's just something about him that I look up to greatly and respect him with everything I have, because he's so smart for such a young age. And those are two people that I truly look up to a lot.
Oh, and I will say, just because wisdom does not automatically mean old age. You can
Exactly,
be
and that's the
wise
thing.
and young. So,
Yep. I'll say I hope to be like him one day. I mean, he's only a couple years older than me, but when I grow up, I'm gonna be like Tyler.
you got this, girl. You got this.
Thank you.
You got this. I was just saying because, like, a lot of people when they cut, like, I would say maturity and age do
Yeah.
not go together anymore. Like, you could be like
Hmm.
someone younger and like be very mature and wise, and then
Yeah.
somebody maybe like say around your age, a little bit older, and they just act childish. So
Yeah.
it's like,
I was gonna say, like, it doesn't matter how old you are. It's like it's that like mental wisdom and like mental age that really like shows the person, because you can be 50 years old and still act like a 15-year-old. So
that part. 'Cause, woo, that part.
yeah.
So my question for you is, also shout out to you, girl, because it is Women's History Month. I just want to let you
Yes,
know.
it is.
I just wanted to give you my flowers because
Oh,
it is
thank
Women's
you.
History Month, and give my flowers to you because you are doing the damn thing. Yes, this is a raw real. This podcast is raw real. You doing the damn thing, girl. So
Thank you. Thank you.
and just like I love the content you put in, and then like just like I said, I just feel like for you to be able to like showcase you could be beautiful and strong at the same
Yeah,
damn time. Like that's
100%.
you let them know, girl. So
Thank you. I appreciate it.
my question for you is, how would you describe your journey?
Um, a roller coaster for sure. Like I said, like I mentioned before, like there were so many highs, because you have to have highs to like get to this level, but there was also so many lows where that at one point I didn't think I could get out of, or I thought that my like sports career was over. But it's just a matter of like, again, pushing through them and letting yourself know that like I have to be here to get here. And so yeah, long story short, I would say it's definitely been a roller coaster.
Girl, if life had a straight, if let somebody say, oh, life went through a straight path, y'all let me know where it is because
I was gonna say, but that would be one boring life. So I'm not. I would say I love my roller coaster ride. It's just been very windy,
just just
just a
all over.
little windy.
Because my thing is, if it was straight, like you said, it would be boring. But it's like,
Exactly.
what type of lessons would you have learned if it went straight? Like,
Yep. I was gonna say, like, again, like I mentioned before, every failure I learned a lesson, but also with every success. Like you have to take those successes and then also learn something, because you can't always hold on to them, because they're just a moment in time. Like they're gonna go away, and then you have to succeed again, and you have to fail again. It's a repeating cycle.
it sure is. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, though, like I will say one thing you can never do is be stagnant. Just keep like in this
Mm-mm.
level. Like
Yeah.
either like you just want to make sure you go this way. Just
I was gonna say, life is like if you do it right, you're constantly growing. Like I would never want to say that in 1 year I'm the same as I am today. Like I hope I'm different in some sort of way next year, because that's how it works. Like to keep getting better, you have to keep changing.
And each day brings a new day and brings new blessings. So,
Exactly.
like, hallelujah. So, we like that. So I always ask my guests this question because bona fide means authentic and unique.
Yep.
So, what makes Miss Elly Finch bona fide, and what makes your story stands out?
Honestly, that's a hard question. But personally, I would say that what makes me unique is my drive and willingness to never quit. Like I I don't think I could ever let myself quit on something, whether it's on someone, especially not on myself. Um I I think what makes me so unique and so like powerful is that I set goals and I will do anything to reach them. I mean, like, I have spent some some time just like working on like specific things, whether it's, trying to become a college athlete, or when it comes to the gym trying to get a PR or anything. It's like if I set that goal, nothing is going to stop me from getting it. And it's worked out so far. So
Girl, you better let them know that. Let them know, like, I ain't giving up. Ain't no
hell
reason
no.
to give up. Especially like when you don't give up, like also what you are doing to like if somebody sees you not giving up, it's
Mm.
providing them motivation, inspiration to keep them going. So
I was gonna say, like, in one case, it's like you have the haters that are like waiting on you to fail, and it's like they are holding their breath. It's like let them suffocate, you know. But then it's also like the whole other side where it's like you could also be inspiring somebody. Like, especially when I was in high school playing football, it's like I had hundreds of little girls come up to me and tell me how much I inspired them. And that means everything to me. Like, no matter what happened, whether I played college football or not, it's like I know that I made an impact on this small community or even big community of girls. And that was everything. That means I did something for someone.
absolutely. And inspiration is one of the biggest gifts and blessings you could give to someone, especially to
Yeah.
like give them hope to keep going because you never
Yep.
know who watches and they may, you may bring them that joy and that, that story that could help them. So,
Yeah, and that's the other thing. That's the other really big goal I have with social media. It's not only to show women that strong is beautiful, but it's also to show everybody, male or female, that it's okay to love yourself, you know? Like I struggled for so long, like I didn't like myself at one point, and that's so sad because now looking back it's like I truly love myself and I want the best for me. And I want people to know that that's okay to do because a lot of people think that, like, oh, being confident or loving yourself or loving the way you look is selfish and egotistical when it's not. Confidence is key to everything. If you don't have confidence, you don't have shit, you know? So it's all about that self love.
period. Say it louder for the folks in the back.
So funny. But it's true. It is.
Oh, absolutely. Because
Mhm.
confidence is key. Confidence is queen, y'all.
It is.
Better wear your crown, girl. Wear it well. So can you let the folks know how and where they can follow and support you if there's any upcoming events happening for you, girl?
Yes. So I mainly post on Instagram. It's Elly.Finch. I do, however, have a TikTok. It's Elly.Finch55. But yeah, that's about it.
Y'all heard it from the queen first. Follow her at Elly.Finch and Elly.Finch55 on TikTok. So y'all be sure to check her out this season for indoor and outdoor. Is it outdoor season yet now?
Yes, it's just
Okay.
about to start.
Be sure to check her outdoor season out, y'all. Like, support your favorite track and field fabulous people. Her, support her. The throwing community. The throwing community be lit, y'all. I'm letting
It
y'all know.
is. It truly is. We're cool.
Yes. So I'm telling y'all, support her, support everybody from the throwing community, everybody from the track and field, support her. And Y'all make sure to tune in to the live replay of episode 118 of Bonafide Her podcast featuring Elly Finch. After this, thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you, Miss Elly, for sharing your story on the podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Peace.